Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day here in Estes Park, Colorado, and this is the probably last installment of the Sprinter van upgrades that I've been doing. This one is one that I worked on for like 2 days because I'm an idiot. Yeah, so this one is the ARB compressor that will air up and air down all 4 tires. So I wanted to show you guys some demonstrations of like what it does, what's it, why would you do this, and like rolling over different things and showing you the difference between when tires are inflated to full pressure and when they're deflated down. And that's from what I understand. I haven't actually used it that much yet, but from what I understand, people say that this is one of the most cost-effective ways to improve your suspension when you're off-road. And so like when you're riding on gravel and washboards, it's a really good idea to air your tires down. Otherwise, all your stuff in your van is going to get wobbled around and beat up. But yeah, I'm going to give you guys a demonstration of how to hook everything up. But first, we need to deflate, and for that I've got this, the Speedflate System, 4-tire system with the gauge, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is how it comes in the bag, and this piece right here is the readout. So right now it's at 0 psi, but of course, I'll hook it up to all 4 of the tires and I'll hang it in the front so that we can watch it deflate. And yeah, hold on a minute. Alright, now the cool thing about the Speedflate system, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or if it's going to pick it up on the camera, but it'll tell you what all 4 tires are equalized at. Right now, 52.9 psi, pretty accurate, pretty precise. And when you want to air down, this thing airs down all 4 tires at once. So it'll air them all down to whatever, whatever psi you want. Alright, so I'm going to air it down. It's going to be kind of loud. Listen up. So I'm just going to do it, and then I'll get it down to like maybe 30. All right, now one of the main reasons you do this is so that you have a smooth ride. And when you're out and about and you're hitting gravel and big burly rocks like the ones that I'm going to drive over, you'll see the difference and you'll feel the difference in the ride quality. It's incredibly different. Like it just feels like it soaks it up so much better. All right, so right now we're at 33, equalized among all 4 tires. So I'll take it down to 30, and then we'll go for a drive. All right, 30.1 psi equalized between all 4 tires. All right, now there's one really cool feature that I failed to mention a moment ago, and that is that you don't have to air up all 4 tires at once. You can air up 2 or 1 or 3 or whatever it ends up being. So yeah, it's super handy to be able to run the front down to like maybe 25 and the rear back down to 35 if you want, or 15 and 25 or whatever it ends up being. you can see how it totally just absorbs a lot of the pressure into the tires. I could have driven over that a lot faster, but I kind of wanted to give you guys a demonstration. So yeah, I'm getting like a lot of weird looks because I'm kind of in a construction zone here. So I'm going to shut this down and go over to a parking lot and air back up, and I'll show you how that goes. In order to air up effectively, you do all 4 tires up to the pressure that you want your lowest tire, and then you take those tires off of the tubes and run the next 2 tires up to the pressure that you want there. So I run 50 in the front and about 62 to 65 in the rear, and I'll show you how to run all that and hook it all up to the air compressor. You hook up the Speedflate system just the exact same way you did before, all 4 tires with the gauge up front, and then you hook it up into the ARB using a different hose. All right, one thing to note about the Speedflate is to keep it out of the dirt. Apparently, if you drop it in the dirt, it gets dirt inside these little gizmos, and it's kind of hard to get back out, and also kind of hard to push up onto the valve on your tire. I just learned. All right, so I've got the ISO turned way up on the camera so that we can see inside this dark motor. But down here is the ARB compressor, and my wiring is not awesome, but it's solid. It just doesn't look solid. So yeah, I'll hook up the compressor, the hose to it, and I'll hook it up to the Speedflate. All right, now this end just simply goes inside. You just push it in and it's in. Now this end actually just hooks into the Speedflate. It's super simple. Watch this. All right, so here's the Speedflate. It just jams right in, and it clicks in and it's good. So right now we are reading 30.3 psi on about all 4 tires. The van inside was saying like 27, 28 on each of them. All right, now I'm going to turn the compressor on and we'll start airing up. Okay, so now I've got it hooked up to the motor, the compressor, and it is sitting idle right now because there's no pressure being used. It'll kick on in just a moment. Now, a lot of people buy these because they want to air up differential lockers and stuff like that, and it's a lot more complicated of an install. I do not have differential lockers, and I don't intend to get them on this van. So what I did was a simple wiring system with a switch. And there's a switch right up under the hood. It is right here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's a simple switch. And it just powers the air compressor on. So now I've got it all hooked up, and I'm gonna air up the tires. Let's check it out. All right, now we're reading 34, 35. I did this at my house the other day, and it took, I think, 17 minutes to air back up. And so I'm just gonna kill the camera and wander a bit, and then I'll show you how to disassemble all this stuff and shut it off. All right, so all 4 tires are now aired up to 50 psi, and I'm gonna take the front 2 off and run the back up to 60. All right, just like that, we are back up to 61 actually in the rear and 50 in the front. It took, I think, 16 minutes this time to air front and back up to you know, the regular pressure, 50 and 60. And that is just enough time for me to drink a beer. So, you know, if you're out and about, you might as well stop and relax and have a beer. I think it's important to realize that not everybody needs this. Like, if you don't go off-road, if you're not gonna, you know, travel to places that you need to have a more comfortable ride, if you're not riding on gravel, you don't need something like this. But we bought this not to be like a pavement princess. We wanted it to be something that we can take down into Moab and down, you know, all over the desert. And you know, we're planning on a trip to Washington, like northern Washington and places like that. So then, yeah, it would probably be necessary. So we bought it, we put it in, and so far it's working great. If you've made it this far into the video and you've liked what you've seen, just click like on the video and subscribe to the channel. So, you know, I do a lot of these updates and stuff like that to our van. The next one I think is going to be the Falcon shocks in the rear. I went ahead and ordered them, but I'm not sure how soon they're going to be in. Between then and now, I'm going to try to get out on some biking adventures, and you know, I'll be shooting some of that as well, maybe some drone footage as I ride. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and hope you guys are doing great. Cheers.